Hey guys, I'm MICHAELJOSH, your gadget matchmaker, and in this video, we're doing something a little bit different. I'm here in Mountain View, California at Google's headquarters. Earlier today, Google I/O's keynote took place, and in a few minutes, we're about to sit down with none other than the man himself, Google and Alphabet CEO, Sundar Pichai. This is really good to see you, Sundar.
Good to see you, Michael.
Good to see you in person. I/O in person after 3 years.
Yeah.
My first I/O was 2017. You were just newly minted CEO back then, about a year into office, and your battle cry was a switch from mobile first to AI first. From big idea, it finally feels that things are actually falling into place. Do you feel that way, and how far along are we really? Because you told us it'll all make sense soon.
Hopefully you got a sense for some of that AI now actually working across our products. And I think, that's the opportunity you have. It's a powerful tool, and how can we put it in our products in a way that as people are using things, you can make it a little bit easier for them. And so to me, you always search for things, but maybe if you're in a store, like what we showed with Scene Exploration, you're looking at something and you say, hey, what is the nut-free candy bar? And being able to find it. Or if you were traveling to a place like London, like really actually getting that immersive feeling of being in that place and checking what the inside of a restaurant looked like, so that you don't maybe take your kids to a place where it's not that great for them, so that's what I'm excited about.
Are we still in the early days?
I think so. We are all building AI models, but I think there's a lot more to be done. The models can be much more capable. I think we need to make sure they always work well, reliably, safely, etc. So there's just more work left, but the potential is enormous.
There's a lot announced today. Is there any one that kind of touches your heart that's your favorite or that you kind of care about a lot?
I care deeply about connecting people to information. So today you saw that we were doing that, ending with the prototype of how we are envisioning and being able to understand people if you're deaf or hard of hearing or don't know the language. We have work to do there, but it shows the potential of technology for me.
I don't know if I'm not used to in-person and I miss in-person connections. It was really touching. And in a way, people always ask me about the future of tech. I'm sure they ask that to you too. And I always kind of say Jarvis plus Mission Impossible. Google Assistant, that is probably more proactive, that goes with me everywhere, and a way to kind of display that information as a layer above my real world. Is that the direction you're taking us?
We deeply care about the real world. We want technology to kind of be there if and when you need it to help make it easier for you. And so yes, and like you're riding a bike and you want to know how to get around somewhere. It's not safe to pull your phone and
or
do
even
that.
Look at your watch.
Look at your watch. And so moments like that, and and definitely yes.
What do you think that layer is? It going to be AR? Is it going to be mixed reality?
Along the direction of what we showed in terms of just initially giving you AR in your line of sight,
right?
I think will be easier to do first. I think there's a lot of what I would call hard systems integration of hardware, software, to get it all right. So that is a few years away to do anything beyond that.
COVID has really made us rethink what remote work is, and Google has even today announced a lot of new tools that kind of also help us get along. But sitting with you today, there's really nothing quite like that in-person connection. So how do you think we can kind of pour some of that meaningful connection into a virtual collaboration?
Part of what we are trying to do with Starline is there will be times you won't be physically able to be there. And so the question is, how do you make it as real as possible? And how do you break down barriers? And I think there'll be huge potential for that too. People are separated by distances, often from close family and friends. Yes. And so that's the potential. There's a lot of work to do to make the technology more accessible. Everything at Google, we would think about that.
Yeah.
But what you saw today is as we are working on it, we are pulling good ideas, the R&D from there, and putting it into Google Meet. Or we're also working on very accurate noise cancellation. Right? We're testing hundreds of different types of audio environments and making sure we can kind of create studio quality audio as well. Right. All that ends up being matter how you look.
The expression.
The Monk scale work we are doing is something, I think I'm proud of work the team is doing. We are doing it collaboratively. We are open sourcing, and I think that'll give a huge chance to make sure people are well represented as we do this too.
Emotion, I think, is something that it's hard to convey in technology. And one thing that always bothers me with technology is it requires that you buy into it. You have to live it. And it sucks you in, and the desire is to create immersive experiences. but that also kind of takes us away from the real world. And there's a lot of talk about the real world today and how important it is. How do you think we can strike that balance and pour more humanity into our technology?
You basically set the core principles of what it needs to be, I think. We have to put humanity first. Computers should adapt, not the other way about, and should be there only when they need it. It shouldn't get in your way. It shouldn't be isolating, I think. I think it should help you participate in the real world. Done correctly, it allows you to spend less time on technology because it's so efficient at getting you what you need. Or if you later want to set up an appointment for a doctor or something, maybe you can just tell it and just forget about it, and it happens well. So that's our goal.
One of the things that I care most deeply about, and is the reason why I'm a YouTuber, is to be able to bridge that technology gap, whether it's access to knowledge, to devices, to services. What is Google doing specifically to be able to reach its next billion users?
Oh, this is so near and dear to me. I grew up in India, and I had to wait a long time to get access. I knew you're from the Philippines as well, and everything you see, be it us working hard to add 24 languages, new languages and translate, including rare, old, ancient languages.
Yeah.
I think that is important. The fact when we work hard to make phones cheaper through Android, that is a big part of what we are doing. So across everything we do, we are constantly thinking about how we can bring that to the next billion users. So I think it underlies a lot of what we do as a company.
We're running out of time, so I have some quick fire questions.
Okay.
Are you a morning person, and do you have a morning routine?
I'm definitely a late night person. So my morning routine, I do have a morning routine to help cope up with early morning.
So in the morning, do you have chai or coffee?
My wife loves chai. I love coffee. So I drink chai in the morning, and then I drink coffee at work in the day.
What do you miss the most about India?
Oh, the food, the people,
I
the
miss
culture.
jalebi.
I used to have jalebis in the morning too.
You love podcasts. What's your favorite right now?
I've been listening to BBC in Our Time. Andrew Huberman has been a great podcast. Yeah.
Who are you cheering for in the World Cup?
Oh, you're talking football?
Football
Yeah.
or i.e. soccer in the US?
Yeah. Well, let me not. I love players. I would love for Messi to get his first World Cup. Yeah.
I saw Messi score a goal once. It was a highlight of my life. Do you disconnect on weekends? Do you work on weekends?
I do work on weekends, but I do make sure I take time to disconnect, to be with my family and friends, which I think is very important.
Yes, digital well-being is such a great
Yeah.
a great tool. What makes you happy?
Oh, well, look, I'm privileged to be doing what I do. The chance to work on products which impact so many people definitely makes me happy. Beyond that, connections with the close people I love.
Do you watch any YouTube?
More than I should care to admit. I love watching YouTube. I end up learning a lot thanks to creators like you. There's so much content. I think while YouTube also entertains me, I really love the fact that I learn and grow by watching things on YouTube.
Can the CEO of Google tell people to subscribe to my YouTube channel?
Well, please subscribe to Michael's channel.
Thank you. And last thing, growing up,
Click the button down.
Yes, make sure you hit that like button,
Like button,
that
yeah.
subscribe button, and the notification bell.
Yeah.
Last question. Growing up, what is your advice to knowing what you came from and where you are today? What is your advice to anyone with a dream who doesn't feel like that dream is possible?
I think things take time. I think being patient and trying to do something that makes you happy is what's in your control. Do something that you're happy with and do your best. And I think things tend to work out, and that would be my advice.
Well, that's all the time we have. Thank you so much, Sundar. I really enjoyed speaking with you today.
All right,
It was
thanks,
really
man.
good.
Take care.
Really
So
good.
nice. Look forward to seeing it.
And that was our interview. I have Jacqueline and Justine as special guests because they also did interviews with Sundar. How was your interview?
It was so fun. Oh my god, he was just like super cool, super down to earth, and it was so great to kind of catch him off of the stage because he just hopped off of the stage and came to chat with us.
Yeah, he's like the coolest guy ever. I think he's like one of the best like tech CEOs, right? Like a lot of them are like controversial, but he seems like a really down to earth guy.
I love that he means well and that he was so down to earth that when I just sat on this chair, I just felt like I was talking to a friend.
Yeah.
And I was talking to the CEO of Google.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
and I feel like he's very thoughtful about tech, and I think that really carries through into like the culture of Google as well. So it was really cool to get a chance to chat with him.
Well, you need to check out their videos. I know you've seen this one, but please do check out their videos. I'll put links down below. We all got to sit down with him for like 10 minutes. So make sure you like and subscribe, just like Sundar said, and I'll see you in the next one.
Bye.